All right, we are live again, and tonight I've got the honor of having a special guest on my live. So we're gonna wait for a few people to come on here, but for all of you that are jumping on the replay view, I just appreciate all of you, all of you for following. It really means a lot. Any of the likes, comments, shares, it's all very, very welcome. I also want to just mention really quickly for any of you that are watching this, that are working in our business, that we do have Marbella coming up in a couple months, and that is just a fantastic event, and there's no way you should ever miss that. It just means so much to your business. A huge reason why the person I'm interviewing has reached $1 million in earnings before I did is because he actually went to one of these big events 2 years before I did, and it's obviously cost me a lot of money, whereas it's helped him make a lot of extra money. So I highly suggest to look into that as well. So just for all of you that don't know, watching this for the very first time, Design Your Life is essentially just a series I'm doing here at the beginning of the year. 30 different lives, covering different topics on really what's helped me in my last decade of building a business that's really been able to help me design a life which me and my family just love, and that's living down in Valencia. And right now, actually, I am sitting outside. That's pretty awesome, sitting outside without a jacket on, just with a sweater on. I'm gonna switch it here, and I'm also gonna introduce you to our guest speaker, my brother Ric Norell here. So, but just to see here, we're sitting here at a really nice place outside. We've got some historical buildings all around us and so on. So it's just an awesome place for me to live. So hey everybody, just awesome that you all coming on here. We are gonna have a lot of fun over the next few minutes here, and that's to be able to ask a few questions here. So my first question actually is, if you got to really think about your entire life here, like, out of all the people in the world, who would you say is your favorite brother in the world?
Okay, thanks so much for inviting me for this live. So it's an honor to be here. Hi guys. And obviously, my one and only brother is Daniel. So we've been building the business together now for pretty much since the beginning, and it's been a great journey. And we've had ups and downs, but we've had a great time and great memories. And now we both get to have a great lifestyle and enjoy a lot of great stuff together.
Brilliant. I mean, just tell us a little bit about what we did today, for example.
Yeah, so in the morning we went with our kids down to the beach, went to play in the park, and on the little scooters there for the kids, and then we went home and went away and watched basketball. So watched one of the top teams in the world, actually, a big game with 9,000-10,000 people, and had a great time. And then we went to the zoo with the kids as well, and just spending a lot of time with the family today, really, and had a nice dinner as well. So lots of great times and lots of great stuff we're doing. It's amazing.
Awesome. So I've got tons and tons of questions. We're going to see if we can get through a lot of these questions here. And if any of you have any questions, and if I actually catch them on the screen here, then I'll see if I can answer them as well. But my first question here that's really important here comes from Nicholas. And he says, I have one question. How many people did you have to sponsor to make your first million?
Let me see. Should we count? It's actually just one.
Oh, thank you. Is that me then?
No. It's yourself, right? So you just got to sponsor one person to be successful in the business, and that's yourself. So I recruited myself into the business, and that's what I did. But I have to say, of course, sponsoring Daniel has helped tremendously to also earn a lot of money. So it's great to generate income from the family members now. So yeah, it's been a great journey, yeah, for sure.
So essentially, I mean, your conclusion here is like, so how do you recruit yourself? Like, what do you have to do that?
Well, you just got to make a really strong decision. I mean, a lot of people are usually use the analogy when you're standing on the edge of a pool and it's a little bit cold, and a lot of people just like dip their toes in the water, and then they say, "Ooh, it's a little bit cold," and then they hesitate a little bit. But what you got to do is just jump in right away and start swimming. And once you start swimming, it's going to feel nice and warm, and it's going to be great, and you're going to feel great in there, and you're going to get help to swim across to your destination to reach your goals. So,
amazing. So what would you say has been the hardest part of your journey?
Yeah, I mean, we've had a lot of obstacles for sure along the way, and I could sit here and for maybe 2-3 hours talk about different obstacles, but for me, I don't see them as being hard part of the journey. I just see them as part of being a great thing with the journey, because I've learned a lot and it's made me the person I am today. So when I experienced those so-called obstacles, I didn't necessarily think, oh my God, what a big problem I had, oh my God, what a big challenge I have at the time. Because of the mindset that I have, I was very focused on the goals and the dreams that I had. So there really are little bumps in the road, but you know, it's really about the mindset and about how you tackle those obstacles and challenges. And if you tackle them in a positive way, with gratitude, and say thank you, I had this obstacle now, then you're going to be a lot better off. And I feel that that's what life is all about. We're all going to get obstacles, but it's how you deal with them. That's the difference between the successful people and people that might not be as successful.
And when you had these obstacles, was there ever a time where you're like, man, I just feel like giving up?
Not really, no. I mean, I've never, and that's what the first question, or earlier question Daniel asked, is like, you know, jump in the water and start swimming, and then you're not going to get out of the water. You're just going to keep on going, all right? So if you make that decision once and for all, you never need to wake up in the morning and say, should I do this or should I not, and hesitate back and forth, because I made the decision from the first day onwards that I was going to do this, and I was going to do it no matter what.
Amazing. So you just like made that decision once, because don't you feel that a lot of people kind of come into this and they just never really make that decision, and they just kind of hesitate. Yeah. And that's also very difficult for them then to paint the picture for other people to join their team, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you hesitate, then the people you speak to will hesitate as well. So it's like a catch-22, and it is a challenge. But yes, fair enough. If some of you guys watching this haven't completely decided, or sometimes it is a journey and it takes a little time, events do help a lot, and working on yourself, believing in yourself, and just like getting your belief level up to a certain level. And of course, achieving success and having fun. So there's a lot of things that do help.
All right. So, what would you say? You know, is something that would help to drive your team forward? Like whatever, you know, obviously in our business here, you have built a huge team. Like, what would you say helps to drive that team forward? Like, what are some of your best tips there?
Okay, so obviously using different tools like events, using different tools like product launches. Doing good trainings, have a good training platform, doing all kinds of great support and training, and creating a nice culture of teamwork and having fun as well, and also just finding these good, strong people and believing in them, because when people start, they might not have that belief, but if I believe more in them than they maybe do in themselves in the beginning, I see the potential, I see what they can become, then that can drive the business forward and the people forward to achieving amazing things. Great.
And in the beginning, I mean, did you ever like go up pin titles and then go back pin titles, up and down pin titles? Did that ever happen to you, really?
Never. I'm Superman. No, of course. I mean, absolutely, of course. It's going to happen, and it's going to go up and down. But it's a little bit, if it can go up and down, but overall it's going to go up, that's really what you're looking for. So every single year, yes, in the beginning it was slow. It was a grind, We didn't really have a lot of the products that you guys have here today, and it was a lot of things that could be challenges, and it was tough. But every single year throughout my career, we've increased, except one year we had a slight dip.
Okay, great. And so, I mean, how did you stay motivated, and what are some of your tips for staying motivated?
Yeah, of course, absolutely. So personal development is a great thing to keep yourself focused and to overcome obstacles. Going to events as well. Surrounding yourself with great people. I mean, you got to surround yourself with great, successful people, leaders, because they influence you, and you rub off their energy, and you can get energy from these people. And that helps a lot, and that's really helped me to surround myself by incredible friends, incredible family, and also incredible partners and business colleagues as well.
Amazing. And when, like, if new people start today, how do you advise them on recruiting and getting started and so on? Like,
you just got to do what works for you, right? So we got to see your situation. If you're a person that is present online and you like that, we're going to look to go that way. If you're a person that's not online at all, we're going to have to find another way, to do it more offline. I love myself to use a little bit of each, but I do think today, of course, because of social media platforms and technology, that the efficacy of what we can do today is greater than it was when, for example, I started, when that wasn't as present or as apparent and as a big thing.
Amazing. Also, we just got a little interlude here. We got to have a commercial. What I just got a congratulations. This is your most liked live video yet, meaning that my brother is way more popular than I am. So thanks for coming on here and making this program a little bit more popular than I'm by myself. So, also, what about, are you still today focused on recruiting, or do you mainly just like drive the business and drive the lines deep and so on?
Yeah, I mean, it's a combination of course, but I do believe that as leaders, you have to set an example. So you still want to be recruiting to set an example, but also to keep my skills on a certain level. If I'm not doing the things I'm asking my people to do, I don't believe that I'm truly a good leader. I need to also keep my skills on a certain level and also set a good example for the rest of the team.
Amazing. And also, I mean, sometimes it's difficult to give tips to your team if you haven't recruited in like several years, right? Because you don't really know what's going on in the field. So
exactly right, and our business evolves very fast, especially with recently with the technology, social media. So I need to also be able to experience what they're experiencing and be able to relate to them in a certain way.
All right, a numbers question here. Do you have any idea how many people you needed to sign up to get to the Blue Diamond position?
I didn't really keep track, to be honest with you. I was probably maybe signed up slightly, maybe less than the average, because I was working with my existing people a little bit more. But I've heard from before, it might be different today, but a couple years ago, you're looking at about 70, 80 people to sign up, roughly.
Amazing. What is your favorite product and why?
Favorite product and why? Well, business-wise, it's maybe the toothpaste, but I like the R². It's been, and I'm very passionate about health and wellness, and the R² has been great to me, and the Life Pack as well, just to keep my health on a good level so I can have great energy to do the business every day, right? And
amazing. Here we got a little bit more technical question here. Somebody who's asking, like, what did you feel was the main driver in cracking the UK market, and then what are top tips for opening up new markets and getting new markets going?
Yeah, I mean, for any market, I believe two essential keys is leadership and teamwork. You need good, strong leaders, and in the beginning, it was a lot of guys, and it was also a lot of, not a lot, but a couple of internationals. And I believe that the person who's going to build, like the UK, it's going to be UK people, it's going to be British people, right? I can come in here and I can find the person that's going to build the UK, but I can be a part of that and find some people. And it's the same thing if you're going to build Germany, like, and you guys, most of you, I guess, are from the UK. You got to find some good people from Germany, first of all, and then you got to create great leadership in your team, or create great leadership in that market, and then you have to be able to have that leadership coexist so that you have great teamwork between everybody. That's a short answer.
Amazing. And do you feel that you've ever made any mistakes in the business?
I do them every day, unfortunately. Every single day I make mistakes, but that's all right. I just that's what the business and what life is all about, is still moving forward, even though I make mistakes personally and also in the business every single day, and that happens. But I don't dwell on them. I just move forward, because can't change the past, right? Can only live in the present and think about the future.
There's actually a question that one of the guys who does a big trader in our industry, he always talks about, getting that defining moment. Do you know when was your defining moment, and why that was your defining moment?
Yeah, I mean, I maybe consciously I probably don't know exactly. I'm assuming that it probably was at an event early on, Went to a world convention about 1 year into the business in America.
The one I missed.
The one you missed. And then I was playing semi-professional basketball at the time, and I've never in my life like quit things, but I went home back to Europe, and then I called my coach up, and it was a pretty hard conversation to have, but I pretty much told him I'm quitting, you know. And he's like, "Why are you quitting?" And it's like, you know, so that was one of the moments where I decided to like really go for it and commit on a little bit of a different level, a little bit of a higher level. And I feel like it's important for people, if you want to be successful, is to maybe sacrifice something as well.
Absolutely. Talking about markets there, building markets before, we got a question here of how many $1 million circles do you think there's room for really in the UK, and why do you feel that now is an amazing time to start the business in the UK?
I would say at least maybe 100 $1 million circle members, and I like the UK also because it's very international, and it's not only about the UK, but it's about spreading to different parts of the world. And we see that people are spreading to South Africa, people are spreading to Australia, New Zealand, America, different countries around the world, to Europe as well. So there is a lot of potential, and I feel that the leaders there in UK are in a prime position to build in the UK and also elsewhere. Was that your question, Daniel?
Yeah. And I mean, you're going somewhere pretty cool for your second time here in March. Where's that?
Tell us about the market you're just going to Chile in South America. I'll be there for about a week, and now it's summertime over there, so looking forward to having some nice sun and warmth.
So you've been working with a team there for quite a year.
Yeah. So we were. That's the last market that opened is Chile, and so we have a couple good leaders over there that we're going to support them and keep on building over there. Working on my Spanish and seeing if I can improve that a little bit as well.
Great. How did you become so incredibly focused, and how did you eliminate like all your distractions?
Well, I feel that one of the big things in our business and also in normal business to be successful, it's what we call delayed gratification, right? Everything and everybody in life, they want instant gratification. So they want right away, they want some pleasure, right? So if you go home at night and you're feeling tired and a little bit lazy, you're going to go and turn on maybe the TV, or you're going to do something for fun because that's how you're feeling in the moment. But really what success, I believe, especially in our business, is about thinking, if I really sacrifice now, focus myself for 3, 4, 5 years or 6 years, whatever it takes, it doesn't really matter, really focus, then I will have everything I want plus more if I'm able to do that. And it's that, you can tie it back to emotional intelligence to delay that gratification, and then you get gratification every single day and a lot more rewards in the future than you ever would instantly.
I mean, one of the things that's quite interesting, sometimes I ask you about certain things in the business and you're like, no, I'm only going to focus on the things I like doing. I'll only focus on the things that are fun. I mean, you're in that position now, I guess, today where you can just focus on the fun people you want to work with. And that must be a really nice feeling, on just like only focusing on fun every single day.
Yeah, no, for sure, absolutely. I love to work with fun people, nice people, positive people, and so many people in our company are having those characteristics. So that's why it's really nice and really great. And it's also, I enjoy building new areas and new markets and working with exciting people, who are motivated to go to a whole new level. So that's really a privilege. And in the beginning, it wasn't really the case. I couldn't be picky and choosy. I had to do what it took, what it required.
So would you say when you start out the business, with most people today, would you almost recommend that they just go wherever there is kind of interest and activity, or should they kind of just keep recruiting until they find fun people?
You need to find a combination. I mean, it's so important to have fun in the business. Right from the get-go, when I started, I was enjoying myself, and you want to have fun in the business. But you also want to chase the business. So where are your strong people or potential people? Where is it happening? You need to follow that and build upon that in a great way and create that great momentum in your business. So use a combination, but maybe lean towards the chasing the business in the beginning, and then later on you can go and balance it out with having fun as well.
Great. Obviously, you've had a couple, one or two people that have given up in the business, or maybe a few more. But what would you say to those people that are about to give up? You know, maybe do you have a conversation with them, or?
It really depends. You know, so I feel that when people give up, it's not about new skin. It's not about the product or anything regarding the opportunity. It's just maybe regarding timing. A lot of them have usually personal situations that they can't, or at least in my case, that they've had a difficult time to be able to deal with. So I've had a number of people come back to the business because of these reasons, that were active, took maybe a break for maybe even 2-3 years, and then I still had contact with them because I like them and I believe in them, and then they've come back and they've done quite well.
Amazing. What are your keys to your daily actions?
Yeah, so I think it's important to start the day in a good way. Reading goals, affirmations, get yourself focused, do some personal development, and then I personally, I'm not saying I have the best routine. I do a to-do list, and then I kind of do what I feel like, but I also track my productivity in a good way as well, so that I'm not just doing busy work, but I'm also being somewhat productive.
Amazing. And let me see here, one more question here. What about, do you ever have anybody call you up and be like, oh, this is going too slow, or they feel like they're good, they feel like it's going too slow for them? Like, how do you react to it? How do you deal with people like that?
Well, everybody's like that. I'm like that. Everybody's like that. Every single person in the journey wish it was going a little bit faster, right? Or a lot faster. And I just, think we all need to take 100% responsibility for our success, for our life, for our business. And wherever I am or wherever you are right now in your life, that's where you deserve to be, based on everything that you've done and your decisions and everything in terms of habits that you've done. And you got to believe that, because all successful people take 100% responsibility. That's what I believe strongly in of their life and their success.
Amazing. Here's a couple of questions that popped up here just on our screen here. If you have any, just write them out here. But what's your best recruitment method?
Method tool. I think it really changes from time to time. I like to mix it up. So, my two best people, one of them has been Warm Market, and another person has been a person that I met because we were renting a conference room out of them. So she was working in conference and events. So you just got to take all kinds of opportunities that you can. And I believe in being versatile in terms of recruiting, and really do a combination of things. Because if I got somebody who's really good at online stuff, I need to be able to do that. If I got somebody who's really good at, walking and talking, I got to be able to also have some experience with that. So, give me a call if you want more detail, but that's in a nutshell what I would say initially for that.
Okay, great. And so, one of the things that I've always noticed with you is that you've always been extremely, extremely focused, and just kind of knowing from day one where you were going with this. But I feel that 99.99% of people that sign up in our business don't have that. Like, they come into the business and are a bit like, I'll try this out, or we'll see how it goes, and they get started and they're a bit unsure. How do you deal with coming from one side of the extreme of being 100% sure pretty much from the first time you ever heard about the opportunity, to the majority of people having all these kind of doubts and not really 100% knowing if they're going to do this? Are you able to kind of relate to them, or is that difficult for you to?
Yeah, somewhat, but I mean, I think it's a work in progress, and we just gotta. It's like you're walking over a certain bridge to people. So here is uncertainty, here is certainty, and you sometimes gotta hold their hand or lock arms with them to walk over that bridge and help them to get that belief, that confidence in themselves, the company, the product, and in the business. And yeah, of course, but I think that's what we need to understand as being entrepreneurs, that people come in and they're not sure about about their success in the business. They're not sure about everything, and that's what we need to be a good coach and mentor to be able to help them to see that promised land, see that light, and get that confidence and belief. So we need to work on that with people.
Great. Here's a great question, because it's kind of interesting to see how you can answer this. But how do you react? How do you react when someone says it's a scam?
Sorry about that, guys. Somebody's coming over asking for
all his money. I wonder why. He saw the title of this video. All right. So how do you react when someone says it's a scam?
Well, I don't think anybody's ever said that, because I believe it's not a scam. If you believe whatever you believe, that's usually you're gonna get that, right? But I would just maybe, it depends on the situation. But people who are what we call dream stealers, who don't believe it's going to work or believe it's a pyramid scheme, I just laugh at them, because of their ignorance, and they're just not really educated with the business and with business in general. So I don't really care. A lot of times, dream stealers, it adds more fuel to my fire, basically. So I'm just like, hey, I'm going to prove you wrong. Let's see, and then they just add more motivation from that. So yeah.
So you actually enjoy that part. So would you say that you had early on any like close family members or maybe really close friends that were, they thought this was a complete scam, or they just thought this was never going to work? Or
well, I don't know if I'd use the word scam, but yeah, dream stealers. Yeah, I had a few, but I think a few of them they didn't really maybe voice it directly to me, because yeah, we have to be correct here on this. But I told them to get rid of themselves, go away, like, and in a pretty hard way, if you know what I mean. I would have told them that. So, and I think that's important. If you do have dream stealers, of course, if they're loved ones and close ones, you need to have a conversation with them and say, if you truly, truly love me, you're going to support me whatever I'm doing. But if they're people that, maybe aren't that close, or like sort of halfway between being close, just be really strong and just be like, look, I'm doing this, and I'm doing it no matter what. And quite frankly, I don't care what you think, because I'm going to prove you wrong.
What I find also kind of interesting with your journey is that early on, when you started the business, you sacrificed quite a lot, and a lot of family time and so on as well. Like, we'd sometimes get together for family things, and you'd be missing because you'd be on some trip somewhere, working the business. Whereas now, I mean, I look back over the last few months, I mean, you're now visiting us in Valencia. You were last week with my sister in Plymouth. You're always with your partner Charlotte's siblings all over the world, and you were with us with skiing. You're almost spending all your time with family now instead. I mean, is that something that you almost recommend for people, is to maybe sacrifice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years to then just have the most amazing thing to do whatever you want every single day?
Yeah, I mean, to an extent, maybe I did that on a slight extreme side, but I mean, of course, I was doing other things as well, because you want to have balance in your life. Absolutely. Today, on average, I would say I take two trips every single month on average. Usually two holidays every month. Maybe one of them is a combined business holiday trip. So it's amazing. I love traveling. I love going to new places and meeting new people. But to an extent, yeah, I do believe it's really, really important to make some sacrifices and really go into the trenches. However, don't forget your priorities. So health should be your number one priority, and your second priority is your family, okay? But you can still explain to your family and say, look, my objective for doing this business is so I can spend more time with you guys as a family. Therefore, I'm going to work really hard now so I can have more flexibility and freedom, and I'm going to work hard for the next 3 to 4 years until I've reached my goals and objectives, and then for the next 50 years, we're going to have a great time together.
Amazing, amazing. All right, here we are. A lot of people are going to be jumping on to the live webinar with the business coming up here very soon. So do you have any like last 1 or 2 pieces of advice that you want to leave us with here?
Yeah, I mean, have fun in the business. It's really important. Have a good time. Enjoy yourself. If you're not having fun, talk to your sponsor or your support team network to sort that out. You got to enjoy yourself. Set your goals. Keep focused. Do personal development. I find that people who are more personally developed and do that, just 20 minutes a day will last longer in the business because of their mindset. And just go for it. Remember delayed gratification and use the power of events. So I cannot emphasize enough that if you're serious about being successful about this business, with this business, make sure it's not about you going to Marbella, but it's about how many people can you bring along with you to Marbella. If you want to be successful, it's a given that you should go to Marbella. But if you really want to make it, you need to really promote Marbella and get as many people as there from your team. And we're going to have so much fun there and celebrate. And I can't wait to meet all of you guys there.
Awesome. Just a massive, massive congratulations again. $1 million. And the magic final question is, how much money do you make?
I don't know.
I'll text